The last time Elena Gabriela Ruse beat Alex Eala, Alex was still trying to prove she belonged. That was 2024. 2 years later, the circumstances could not be more different. Alex Eala walks into Cincinnati as the number 17 seed. She is no longer the young player waiting for a breakthrough, hoping every big match will finally announce her arrival. She is a WTA 500 champion. She has beaten elite opponents. She has already shown that her level can rise dramatically when the pressure gets highest. And now Cincinnati has given her an opponent who knows something most players don't. Ruse already knows how to beat her. That is what makes this match so dangerous. On paper, this looks like a favorable matchup for Alex. She received a first-round bye, while Ruse had to survive her opening match against Magdala Linette. Ruse didn't merely survive. She dominated, winning 6-0, 6-3 and reaching this round of 64 with very little wasted energy. But the scoreline hides the most important part of the story. Ruse was extremely aggressive on return. She created 8 break points, converted 6, and won 30 return points in a match that lasted only 15 games. That is a serious warning. Because if Ruse returns like that against Alex, she can put pressure on the very first shot of every rally. But there was another number in that match that Alex's team will have circled in red. 45%. Ruse landed only 23 of 51 first serves. She also hit 5 double faults. Against Linette, she got away with it because Linette didn't punish the second serve consistently enough. Alex is a different problem. If Ruse serves at 45% against this version of Eala, Alex is going to get opportunities immediately. And there is a reason that number matters beyond one match. Ruse also landed exactly 45% of her first serves in her previous WTA 1000 match against Anastasia Potapova in Toronto. So this isn't just one bad serving day. At least recently, there has been a recurring vulnerability. And Alex's entire game is built to exploit exactly that kind of weakness. She can step inside the baseline. She can take the return early. She can redirect the ball before the server has time to recover. And once Alex gets her left-handed forehand involved, the point can change in seconds. But before we get too comfortable with the favorite, there is another side to this matchup. Alex has been playing a lot of tennis. A lot. Her Washington title run was not a gentle path to a trophy. She went through Qin Wenzheng, Leylah Fernandez, Alina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and Jessica Pegula in the final. Think about that for a second. That is an elite lineup. And Alex didn't simply survive the final against Pegula. She lost the opening set 6-4, then completely changed the match. She won the second set 6-4. Then she finished it with a 6-0 third set. That final set is one of the most important pieces of information heading into Cincinnati, because it showed what Alex looks like when everything is working. Her movement was sharp. Her decision-making was aggressive. Her confidence was obvious. And when she saw an opening, she didn't hesitate. But then came Toronto. Alex defeated Alicia Parks. She defeated Katie McNally. Then she ran into Belinda Bencic and lost 4-6, 0-6. The result was disappointing, but the bigger story was the workload that came before it. Across Washington and Toronto, Alex played 8 matches in 14 days. 5 of those matches went 3 sets. That is a huge amount of competitive tennis. And against Bencic, the physical cost became visible. Alex lost 10 of the final 11 games. That doesn't erase what she accomplished. It doesn't suddenly make her recent run less impressive. But it does give us the biggest question entering Cincinnati. How fresh is Alex? Because talent isn't the concern. Confidence isn't the concern. Experience isn't the concern. Recovery is. And this is where Cincinnati may have accidentally given Alex exactly what she needed. Alex played Bencic on August 10th. She does not face Ruse until August 15th. That gives her 4 full days without a competitive match. After everything she has been through, those 4 days matter. They give her time to recover her legs, time to reset mentally, time to work on the serve, time to prepare for a player she has already faced, and perhaps most importantly, time to stop carrying the physical emotion of Toronto into another tournament. So now we have two completely different stories entering the same court. Ruse arrives with momentum. Alex arrives with rest. Ruse has already played in Cincinnati. Alex has been able to watch. Ruse has already won a match. Alex has been able to prepare. And underneath all of that sits the history between them. Because in 2024, Ruse beat Alex in US Open qualifying. And the way she did it matters. Alex won the first set 6-3. Then the match turned. Ruse won the second set 6-1 and the third 6-4. The most revealing statistic was Alex's second serve. She won only 40% of those points. Ruse created 11 break points. She converted 7. That wasn't random. Ruse found a specific weakness and kept attacking it. She stepped forward. She took Alex's second serve early. She prevented Alex from settling into comfortable baseline patterns. And once the rallies became physical, Ruse was able to keep asking questions. That is the blueprint she can bring back into Cincinnati. And that is why Alex cannot simply look at the rankings and assume this is easy. Ruse has already seen the blueprint work. She knows where the openings were. She knows what happens when Alex's second serve becomes vulnerable. She knows that extending the rallies can change the physical demands of the match. And she knows that confidence can shift quickly when an opponent starts remembering a previous victory. But here is where the entire story changes. That match was 2 years ago. Alex Eala in 2024 is not Alex Eala in 2026. Back then, Alex was trying to break through. Now, she has broken through. She has won a WTA 500 title. She has beaten top-level opponents on hard courts. She is seated at a WTA 1000. She has already experienced the pressure of going deep at major events. And her tennis has become more proactive. She isn't waiting for the match to come to her. She is trying to take it. That brings us to the first major battle. Ruse's first serve against Alex's return. This could determine the tone of the entire afternoon. If Ruse starts landing first serves at a high percentage, she can protect herself from Alex's aggressive return position. She can get into first ball patterns. She can keep Alex from immediately taking control. But if Ruse stays around 45%, the math becomes dangerous. Every missed first serve creates another chance. Every second serve becomes a potential attack. And Alex is not the type of returner who needs 5 or 6 shots to create pressure. She can create it with the return itself. She can take the ball early and force Ruse to play from an uncomfortable position. That is exactly what Alex wants. A short point, a rushed opponent, a ball sitting in the middle of the court, then the forehand. And when that left-handed forehand starts landing with depth, the geometry of the court becomes a problem for Ruse. Alex can repeatedly send that heavy forehand cross-court toward the backhand. She doesn't need to hit a winner immediately. That is the important part. She can make Ruse defend, then defend again, then move another step backward. And eventually, the shorter ball appears. That is when Alex can change direction. That is when she can finish. But Ruse has a response. She doesn't have to out-hit Alex from the first ball. She can make Alex work. She can absorb pace. She can redirect. She can use Alex's power against her. And most importantly, she can attack the second serve. This is where the 2024 match becomes relevant again. If Alex's first serve isn't landing, or if her second serve sits up, Ruse can step forward and immediately turn defense into offense. That could force Alex into longer rallies. And longer rallies are exactly what Ruse wants. Because there is a huge difference between a point that lasts 4 shots and a point that lasts 12. 4 shots favors the player who can strike first. 12 shots tests patience, movement, recovery, and decision-making. And after 8 matches in 14 days, that difference matters. So the second battle is Alex's second serve. This may be the most important technical question of the match. Can Alex protect that serve? Can she prevent Ruse from getting comfortable on return? Can she win enough second serve points to keep Ruse from constantly applying pressure? If the answer is yes, Alex becomes the favorite she is supposed to be. If the answer is no, the match becomes dangerous. Then comes the third battle. Rally length. Alex wants to shorten the points. Ruse wants to stretch them. Alex wants to serve, attack, and finish. Ruse wants to return, absorb, extend, and wait. Alex wants to dictate. Ruse wants to disrupt. That contrast is going to be visible from the opening games. And there is another tactical detail that could matter. Alex cannot allow Ruse to get comfortable hitting the same ball over and over. If Ruse finds a rhythm, she becomes much harder to move. Alex needs variation. Change the direction. Bring Ruse forward occasionally. Then push her back. Don't give her a predictable rhythm. Because once a counterpuncher starts reading the same pattern, the attacking player can suddenly become the one under pressure. For Ruse, the plan is simpler. Serve better. Return aggressively. Make Alex move. And make her earn every point. She has already shown against Lynette that she can be ruthless on return. 8 break points. 6 converted. 30 return points won. That is the kind of pressure Alex needs to avoid. She cannot afford to give Ruse repeated looks at second serves. She cannot allow Ruse to start every rally from inside the baseline. And she definitely cannot turn this into another exhausting 3-set battle if she has the opportunity to finish it earlier. That is why the opening 4 games could tell us so much. Watch Ruse's first serve percentage. Watch where Alex stands on return. Watch whether Alex is taking the ball early. And watch the length of the rallies. If Alex is controlling those 4 things, the match could move quickly. If Ruse is controlling them, suddenly the old 2024 memories become much more relevant. There are 3 numbers that define this matchup. 45%. That's Ruse's first serve percentage in each of her last 2 WTA 1000 matches. 40%. That's the percentage of second serve points Alex won in their 2024 meeting. And 6-love. That's the 3rd set score Alex produced against Jessica Pegula in the Washington final. Put those 3 numbers together and you get the entire argument. Ruse has a serve problem that Alex can attack. Alex has a second serve vulnerability that Ruse can attack. And Alex has recently shown a level high enough to overwhelm an elite opponent when she is physically ready. So which version shows up in Cincinnati? That's the question. Because if the Washington version of Alex walks onto this court, I don't think Ruse gets enough time to settle. That Alex doesn't wait. She takes the return early. She looks for the first forehand. She turns short balls into opportunities. She makes the opponent feel pressure immediately. But if the Toronto version shows up, the story changes. If Alex's legs are still heavy, her serve may lose a little explosiveness. Her movement may be half a step slower. And against a player like Ruse, half a step can be the difference between controlling a rally and defending one. That's why the 4-day break matters so much. It doesn't guarantee freshness. It doesn't erase fatigue. But it gives Alex the best possible chance to reset. And now she has another advantage. She knows what is coming. There are no surprises. She knows Ruse will look at the second serve. She knows Ruse will try to extend rallies. She knows Ruse will want to drag her into a physical contest. And Alex has had 2 years to become better at handling exactly that kind of pressure. This is where experience becomes more than a number. The 2024 defeat can either be a scar or a lesson. For Alex, it should be a lesson. She knows what happens when an opponent repeatedly attacks the second serve, and she knows how quickly momentum can disappear. But Ruse has a lesson too. She knows Alex is no longer the same player. That creates the real psychological battle. Ruse has the memory of winning. Alex has the memory of losing. But Alex also has something she didn't have in 2024. Proof. Proof that she can beat elite opponents. Proof that she can win a WTA 500 title. Proof that she can recover after losing a set. Proof that she belongs on this stage. So don't expect Alex to simply overpower Ruse from the first ball. There will be difficult moments. Ruse will have stretches where she attacks the second serve, extends the rallies, and forces Alex to defend. The key will be how Alex responds. If she stays patient, protects the second serve, and waits for the right forehand, she should regain control. If she starts forcing winners because she feels the pressure, Ruse will have exactly what she wants. Watch the first serve percentage. Watch where Alex stands on return. Watch how often she gets the first forehand. And watch the rally length. If Alex controls those 4 things, I expect her to control the scoreboard too. My prediction is Alex Eala 6-3, 6-4. Ruse can upset her, but Alex has more answers now. Cincinnati is where she gets the chance to prove it against Ruse.